Alrighty. Hey folks, this is an update on the 5111 Maufrais project. This is the first time I've done this, so excuse the composition of this recording, but we'll see how we do. Um, some things have changed in the project over the course of the last year and a half. In particular, some of the different things that have happened at the City of Austin have resulted in some changes to our plan for the project. So we've sort of had to adjust to what the city has given us, and some of these things have been good, and some of them have been challenging, and some of them have been, difficult. But all in all, I think it's going to result in us getting a better product for the fund generally. So let me walk through exactly what that means. At the end of last year, the City of Austin passed the Home Initiative. Home Initiative, the biggest thing that happened in the Home Initiative is that all residential lots in the City of Austin went from having the ability to build 2 units with a very reduced footprint for the second unit to 3 residential units. So basically combining all of the different single family zonings from the city, SF2s, SF3s, SF1s, all into this one sort of bundle called SFR, or single family residential, which allows you to build 3 units. Now, there's challenges with that. You don't necessarily get all the same compatibility stuff. There's there's limitations on the floor to area ratio, the impervious cover that you still have to work within. So it doesn't mean like you can just build 3 huge townhouses, but some restrictions have been reduced. Like, for example, the tent that used to exist is no longer a thing. Minimum building height goes up. So we have, maximum building height goes up to 35 feet. So you can potentially have livable third floors now. So it's going to markedly change how builders across the city construct, and it's going to markedly change the product that's available. That'll be good for a lot of people, and it'll be sometimes maybe a little bit less suitable for certain types of buyers. But that's just the reality of where we're at. So when the city did this, we decided for the Maufrais project that we were going to try and use the home initiative to increase the number of units on the 5111 Maufrais project. So we went from originally looking at building something like 2 duplexes on 2 different lots to now we're going to construct 6 4-bedroom homes, or kind of like in a townhouse layout on the site. This still requires the same sort of paperwork for a subdivision. So we're still going to move forward with the subdividing into a lot one and a lot two. But we are going to be able to have sort of a single driveway down the left-hand side, and then a phased development of 3 units on the front lot and then 3 units on the back lot. It'll all be in the same sort of structure, same layout, same footprint. Nothing changes terribly on that, so we can reuse all of our engineering and things. Um, but it does mean we have a much greater density and a much higher unit count, because originally, this site would have only supported 2 units. We've effectively tripled the capacity of the units and increased the square footage of those units as well. There's a dearth of 4-bedroom housing across Austin. It's incredibly hard to lease. It's incredibly hard to buy. The 4-bedroom product is overly expensive to the point where sometimes rental premiums are upwards of 60% for a fourth bedroom, which is just crazy. So we think we're building a good product here. We think it's going to have product market fit, and we're pretty excited about it. Um, Let me go through and explain who we're working with. So we have a design firm called Barron Custom Design. Felicia Foster at Barron Custom Design, an excellent architect who's been involved with all of the different rewrites of the land development code at the City of Austin for a significant period of time now. So she was behind some of the biggest innovations at the city with respect to zoning and compatibility. She's incredibly creative in what she can produce. So we've been working with her team on the 5111 Maufrais project for almost a year and a half now. So her design will be the one that is implemented on all 6 of the homes. Then our builder is 360 Construction, Dave Comerford over with them. He's a partner in the fund. He's going to be the general contractor. He has a 4 or 5 person team, all salaried employees that are part of that construction unit. that we're going to be utilizing, and they're ready to go. We've got plans submitted at the city with approval for the first 3 units. We're just waiting on confirmation um, of the subdivision in order to be able to submit plans for the second half, which is the back 3 units. There's a little bit of a hiccup with the reason that's being held up right now is if you look at this permit set of plans that were submitted to the city, you can obviously see the renderings here, but you'll notice that there's a flag lot that's been created here, such that we can develop the site the way that we want to. The challenge we have is that down in this corner of the site is a electrical service pole utility that is impinging on the driveway. That service pole doesn't actually service our property, it services the neighbor immediately to the plan south. So we've got to have that moved, and we've engaged someone to do that. So we're in the process of moving that pole now, but that pole and plans for the service to the neighbor have to be addressed prior to completion of the subdivision, which means that we can only submit for the first 3 homes initially, then we'll go back and we'll submit for the second 3 homes. We could still build them all at the same time, but it sort of depends now on just financing and how that sort of stuff works out as to whether or not we just start everything or whether we start 3. Either way, starting 3 will still work. So as soon as we can get that moved, Max, our civil engineer, will have subdivision done and we'll be off and racing. Everything else is approved there. So let me go back to, oh goodness. Let me go back to our plans here. Okay, so the current status of the project is we're waiting on that subdivision. We're trying to confirm financing for a construction loan. We're waiting for final approval for the plat, and then we're going to be as soon as we can finalize construction, we'll be able to start with development. The site's already been, or the previous structure that was on the site has already been knocked down, so we're kind of ready to go with development. Some minor grading needs to be done, and then some site prep stuff, obviously for all the utilities, but all that flat work is going to be relatively easy on this site because there's no trees or anything. So yeah, we're ready to go. Subs are all set up. Just need to finalize financing. Um, on the financing side, obviously things have changed a little bit because we've increased the construction budget fairly considerably because we're now building 6 full single family homes, all with 4 bedrooms, higher bathroom counts, more kitchens, right? More roofs. It all adds up. So the construction budget is going to increase to about $2.6 million. That still leaves us in a pretty good shape. It's really just a question for us now, obviously being an OZ fund, what do we decide to do on the back end with the project, right? Because we can sell some units to reduce our cost basis, or we can obviously hold on to as many as possible because given the amount of money given the amount of equity that we should be able to create, we want to keep as many units for leasing as possible long term. So we've priced out a few different options here for the sale of units. We think that if we sell 4, we can get this project up to having a cap rate of almost, 40%. That would mean holding on to 2. If we can sell 3, however, it might make a little bit more sense because that means we could sell 3 all on one site and we could keep 3 on one of the other legal lots as well. We also have the option to just lease all of them long term if we can get some attractive financing. But that's 2 years down the road, most likely, getting post-construction refi. Not sure how the interest rates are going to look at that time. If they look really attractive, we'll be in a position to sell fewer of these units. But either way, we have really good exit options here on the back end through sale of some, sale of all, sale of none, right? So if the project works either way, we're pretty confident that we'll do well on this. So as soon as we can get a construction loan, we'll be off and going with that. That's the update on the finances currently. The only addition that I'll make to that is we're looking at buying out the existing bridge loan because we have a bridge loan currently. Most likely, I think we're going to buy that out on June 1st, which is a capital commitment of about $360,000. So major investors will be asked if they want to contribute to that. I think they'll be inclined to. That'll mean that we own this free and clear as opposed to it being financed, and we should be able to have an easier time of going to get construction financing, especially given the new plan with the 6 unit layout. All right. What else do we have to talk about? I think that's it. Obviously, if you're interested in contributing more to the fund or to this project generally, you can feel free. My contact information is at the bottom, so we can talk about it anytime. Just give me a call and expect a new update on another project sometime next 24, 48 hours. Cool. Thanks, guys.